Hello, I'm V-Shing from DVS. Welcome to my video. Hopefully you like this video, and if you love it, please support it by comment or subscribe or like. To recap, just to refresh after long delay, let me explain a bit about what I'm trying to do here. In my line of work, I have tried a few types of hardware switch, and this series of video is to explain, to rank the hardware switch that I tested. Alright, so my target switch will be reasonable price. Alright, because not everybody can afford the high-end version. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the products and how I'm going to rank it. And to rank it, I created a target workflow list. This target workflow list is actually based on 5 things: source, target, easy to use, growth potential, and cost. Alright. In the end, I'm going to give you a rating of all based on my target workflow list, and I also conclude what these hardware switches are designed for and purposes. Alright, without further delay, let's go to it. The next products I'm going to talk about is from Datavideo SE-650. SE-650 also have 4 input, but the difference between SE-500 HD with SE-650 is SE-650 supported 2 HDMI and 2 SDI. So again, you have a spare 1 output, but I'm giving a higher rating for SE-650 because 2 of the input is SDI. SDI is a short for serial digital interface. I give a very high rating for switcher who have SDI because SDI cable are very robust and it can carry video signal further compared to HDMI. I'm referring to price factor. Of course, HDMI have also long cable, but the price factor went up a lot higher compared for the same length of SDI. The price was very much cheaper, and it's also more robust. More robust in the sense that if you are in an event that you need to lay your cable on the floor and you expect people to step on top of it, people that going to walk around the place that you lay your cable, SDI cable are more durable in that concept compared to HDMI cable. That's why professionals prefer SDI cable. SDI cable is more rugged and durable and more reasonable price. Best of all, SDI cable have one more features that HDMI do not have. SDI cable have a BNC head which allow you to lock to the switch or to the camera. So in this way, it's more durable, or in the sense that will help to maintain the signal even though be accidentally be pulled. HDMI do not have the lock features. It's just a slide in without any locking. So because of any locking, anybody can accidentally trip the cable, or some kid will try to pull the cable. The contact are still there for SDI, whereas HDMI, it may pull out a bit, it still connect, but if you pull out a bit, your signal lost, and you got wondering what happening. SDI cable is more robust, more reliable and more durable. That's why I give a higher rating for SE-650 compared to 500 HD. Like SE-500 HD, it supported the same audio input. It supported two 6.35 audio input and one stereo RCA input. It also have audio fader like 500 HD, and it has the feature to control is the same thing. It's again the same thing for the mic 1 duplicated on mic 2 as in SE-500 HD. Here is another difference between SE-650 versus 500. SE-650 have 3 input. One SDI, 2 HDMI. One HDMI is been reserved for multi-viewer, just like SE-500 HD. But the remainder, one SDI and one HDMI, you can allow output as a program or as an aux channel. This will allow you to use this HDMI, one HDMI and the one SDI to use as a program out or as assignable output like individual channel or clean program or clean preview or program with title or program with logo. In other words, you have more target choice to projector and recorder. Give you a scenario about the advantage of this output. One output, because it's output a program, I can output to projector to show everything that's in there, include a picture if I wanted to, or the title I wanted to, and the same signal I also can use it for streaming purposes. But the second output, I can actually output the computer input only. So in other words, if for those events we have a 2 screen up front on the project on the stage, one is the screen with the speaker, the PowerPoint as a picture with the title, it's all in. The other one can just show the computer input signal. So you can actually have a bigger screen to do it. So 3 output is very nice for that. I can do this show. In other words, I can use this switcher to control the projection too. That's why in my target ranking, I give it 3 star, which is more than SE-500 HD because of this output. As for easy to use or learn or to teach, again, Datavideo hardware switch is famous for it. It was very easy to learn, very easy to use, and also very easy to teach the next person. Why? Like SE-500 HD, all features and functions are at the device. There's no need other special devices like computers to control it or anything. It's there. Straightforward, controllable. Growth potential, like I say, beside the extra one input, it achieves a lot of target that SE-500 HD could not do. But other than that, it cannot expand more. So that's why growth potential also quite low in this switch because of it. As for cost, this is very unique. Datavideo SE-650 at the current price is only 5,900 ringgit, which is actually 200 ringgit more than SE-500 HD. Because you have more professional features like SDI input and output, you also have features that 500 HD do not have, like chroma key function, still image function. It can capture still image and store it. You have support logo, which is 500 do not have, and it's able to support cross point. Cross point means it can allow you to change the input for the sake of convenience. For example, 1, 2 is SDI, 3, 4 is HDMI. If you feel that computer input is more important, I can actually cross point my 3, 4 to 1, 2. So this is where my trigger button is more convenient for the user. So for 200 ringgit extra, SE-650 is value for money. So that's why I give quite high rating for the cost for SE-650. As for SE-650, which is actually my favorite entry-level switcher compared to the other that I review, or mainly because you have SDI input, both for in and out. The input, because it's SDI, I can lay the cable longer, and I don't have fear about the cable spoil, because SDI cable are more durable. SDI cable are more recommended if you're doing for event that you need to roll up the cable regularly. If it's the cable that is for permanent layout, protected, it's not a big issue whether you use HDMI cable. But if you are not able to control the layout of the cable, you have to lay out the cable every week, roll up the cable again, lay back again the following week, or your venue keep changing, SDI cable is my preferred cable for that purposes. So that's why it gives an edge over the other hardware switch. As for the output, because you have actually 3 output, 1 for multi-viewer, 2 more for others. Like earlier I say, it can allow you to have a program out, or aux out, or individual channel out, or you can even have separate output. These 2 SDI and HDMI output can give you multiple options. Earlier I mentioned one scenario. Now I'm going to mention another scenario. This scenario is you have the projector from the computer directly to the projector already. From the computer, split 2 signals, 1 to the projector, 1 to the switcher. The 2 cameras is going to the switcher. From the switcher, I can output as an individual channel to the projector. So I can switch between channel 1 or channel 2 of the camera input to the projector. So in that event, you can actually see two projection. One is the projection on the video, the other one is on the computer. So with these two for the event is perfect. But how about streaming? You need combine these two into one for the streaming purposes. This is where the second output from the SE-650 allows you to do it, because SE-500 can support picture-in-picture. With this picture-in-picture, I can choose whether the computer or the video as a picture-in-picture, combine it and output as one more output. And with that output, and the output, it depends on the encoders that you're going to use. Usually the encoder in the market will be HDMI, so you actually assign the HDMI output with this picture-in-picture features in it to the projector, to the encoder for the streaming purposes. So now the beauty about this scenario is you actually existing with the current layout that's in the event. The event already have layout to the projector for the computer side. You all to do is just for the cameras, you need to lay out this one to that projector. Likewise, you have the output with the picture-in-picture for the streaming. So because of that, SE-650 have a strong advantage over 500 HD. So SE-650 achieved 3-star ranking on the target because of lack of built-in streaming option. Likewise, same with the SE-500, but it can easily solve in two ways. One, get the HDMI to USB converter in a market that available and very reasonable price, or you can buy it. Even Datavideo have such converter. It's called CAP2. So you can actually use this to convert from HDMI to USB, and this link to the computer will use software like OBS to encode and stream out. Another option is getting a hardware encoder. From Datavideo, you have a model called NVS33. It's a hardware encoder server. Why I call it server? Because it's encoded by itself and stream out by itself. You don't need a computer for doing it. I prefer this way because external streaming have their advantage compared to using a computer way of streaming. If you're using a computer way of streaming, you need two computers. Why you need two? One to do the streaming, the other one to check the streaming. You cannot use the same computer to do the streaming and to check the streaming. It won't work very nicely. It will actually hinder the streaming features, capability of the computer. So you need to get two computers for that. If I'm getting this hardware encoder, I do not have this problem. I have one free computer, and this computer will monitor the streaming because the device itself do the streaming. The device can trigger the streaming. If you're interested in this particular model, please comment and suggest. So I will maybe do a review on this Datavideo NVS33. It's a very interesting thing. It has its capability, it has its unique features, which I would say better than software encoder. In a final conclusion, SE500 HD and SE650 are designed for small live events covering like weddings, school event, corporate event, or church Sunday service. Just to take note, all Datavideo switches are designed for event production, like corporate, government event, wedding, house of worship, market, covering from amateur to professional and broadcast level. So, Datavideo by itself, that's their main target, doing event. In the event, you may need to control the output to the recorder, to the switcher, to control the projection, to control the output, to have the streaming option. Datavideo have the solution for it. But the switcher is mainly able to do all these things. In conclusion, both SE500 HD and SE650 are designed for live event production. And they are, because it's 4-channel, it's targeted for more live event production. So like weddings, corporate event, church Sunday service, or mosque Friday service. These products are very suitable for it. And the way it was trying to design for semi-pro, professional, and broadcast level people. So it's a very good product for event. So even though streaming are not built into the switcher, but it's ready to support it. Just like I mentioned in the scenario, 500 can do portrait format, which is beautiful for streaming. SE650 can control the projection output and have one special output from it with the picture-in-picture, chroma key or titling all included into it, and that dedicated for streaming. All you do on the other side is just take that one signal and stream out. You don't need to have multiple input. This is where some people facing a problem is they have the switcher come in, but they still want multiple input to the encoder. Because OBS can allow to lay out. Yes, OBS can act as a switcher, but the thing is, when you have too many input, will the USB supported it, or whether the CPU able to support it efficiently? That is a question that makes you must get the higher price computer for it. Where else, in the Datavideo way, everything is controlled, and by the time it's output, if I want to use a software encoder, I only use one input, because everything is done by the switcher. They go to the encoder will encode, just encode and output. You don't need to do anything else. That's my conclusion on these two products. I hope you like it. I hope you like my new layout of my video. I hope that you are able to give comment and support it. I hope you enjoy this video. The whole time I create this video is not to promote certain product. It's more to try to give some guideline for you to think about it and to plan about it, that whether it is suitable or not suitable, whether it is how I need to do it. That's my whole idea of creating this video. There's no sponsoring from both, so far, the two brands that I mentioned. So I hope you enjoyed this video. That's all for today. I'm V-Shing from DVS. Goodbye. God bless.